Yo, what's going on? I go by the name of Remington II, and I'm here with
Isaiah Ramssess,
Driveby.
and together we go by Project Ambition. Today we're gonna be doing a song breakdown off of Isaiah Ramssess' latest album, Deep Thoughts in the Lonely Room, track 8, Like a Drive-By. We're gonna go into the details of how the whole production came about, the process of making the whole song, and the lyric breakdown. A little bit of that too.
The concept of it originally kind of started me and Xavier linked up one day. Originally we were supposed to go to like a rock heavy metal concert, but then we were just kind of like, nah bro, not feeling it. You know, we just gonna stay inside, we gonna chill, we gonna cook up something. So yeah, you know, I asked Zay like, do you have a concept in mind of like a song or something, so we just have some ideas to bounce off of, and he laid down the concept for me. So from there I kind of just knew like what direction I kind of really wanted to go in with that from there.
So yeah, man, and then after, you know, we made the beat, I just put the drums on, and Don, he did the sample and made it dreamy and all that. And then 2 days later, we link up at Remington's crib for like our first studio session ever. And like by the time it was about 9 o'clock at night, we were done with our first song ever. So it was just a spiritual process, you know. I'm proud of it.
When Zay told me the concept, I had a couple of records to the side that I wanted to sample already. And you know, we couldn't pick one. We had like 3, I think we had that we're looking at. And you know, Zay was like, you know what, man, you go ahead and choose. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. So then like about maybe 5-10 minutes later, go ahead, pick one. And there was this beautiful sample right here, Bridge Through Time by Lonnie Liston Smith. Very talented musician, artist, by the way. So this right here is the raw sample before I went in and chopped it up. So I went ahead and really just pitched it up about 2 semitones. And then I also went ahead and pitched up a couple of the individual chops as well. So after I went ahead and did that, this is the end product I have right here. From there, I found this other little section right here, this one little chop where it was like a flute or something, because I wanted to create another layer under the main melody just to give it a little more of a texture. So from there, I took this one small chop right here. So yeah, quick chop right there, and then I went ahead, pitched that up about 3 semitones, and then threw a little bit of reverb and delay on it. So from here, it sound like that now. So now we have that little texture that's going under the main melody that comes in here and there. On top of those melodies, there was this other section I found to add on a little bit more to that melody. I found this section with the guitar basically, to where it sounded really nice, honestly. Like this, went ahead and slowed that down a little bit. Went ahead and pitched it up about 3 semitones to fit the rest of the track. So now then you got this sound right here. And then I also added on a little bit of reverb and delay. And I throw a phaser on it just to give it a little bit more of a texture as well. Made it sound a little more spacey to fit the dream vibe that I was trying to go for. And then going on from the main part of the song, I went ahead and found this section right here that I really liked, honestly. This section right here, I found this chop right here to where I thought it would be good for a bridge pretty much, because I felt like if we kept that same just loop going over and over again for like the whole song, since it is a longer song, I thought it needed some sort of switch up. So I found this little chop right here that I kind of just sort of looped over and over again. Had that go for a couple bars before leading to the next part. Pitch that up a little bit, so I pitched that up about 3 semitones as well. Then for this section right here, I had another part for the second half of the song. So I found this one part of the record to where there's pretty much just some trumpets going. It just sounded like it really fit what they had written for his second part of his verse, so I kind of went with that because it had kind of like a triumphant feel. So I went ahead, chopped up this section right here. And really, it's pretty much just a simple loop of this section. And I know a lot of people gonna get on me talking about looping sections of records and stuff, right? But you know, sometimes that's all you really need. It's just a simple loop of a section, you know? So that was kind of the case of the song. I didn't want to change this because this was just so perfect. So I went ahead and pitched that up a little. So it gave him a little more of a jazzy feel even more, I feel like, when I pitched it up a little bit. So And then, I mean, from there, pretty much, from creating all the melodies, I mean, had Zay over here. He pretty much just laid down some drums, and then I found this bongo loop that I went ahead and threw in the background just to add a little bit more of a layer to the drums. So, right here, this we got. Added in a kick right here, just to give it a little more bounce. We didn't want it to be too bouncy, so we went ahead, just kept the kick simple. Pretty much from there, I mean, you got the whole beat right there, so.
So first verse is, that was a very beautiful time in my life. I think I was just getting out of a space where I hadn't written anything in a while. And like a drive-by, the beat was inspirational. It helped me get out of a rut. I remember finishing the verse and I called the homies and I was like, yo, we back, we're up. So it's always a good feeling as an artist when you get out of a space where you feel like, you know what, I can't really create nothing that I really like. And that verse was one of those verses that really got me out of that space. I got new sights for all my fucking visions, all hits I ain't never missing. Free myself from self-imprisoned, needed taming for my thoughts. Self-explanatory, I'm basically trying to fight that enemy, which is really me, and dealing with doubt and whatever it is that stops artists from being great, which is really you and your thoughts. I think art requires you to feel more than think, because logic is really the killer of art. So needed taming for my thoughts. I needed to just feel and go through it. Controlling my controllables. If they can, you can surely too. Hard to locate time is taking flight. I just turned 22. We wrote this song a year ago, so I just turned 22. It's just me realizing the fact that all you can really control is all you have control to. If you don't have any control over it, let it go, my nigga. Let it be. Let it be. And control your controllables, and if they can, you can surely too. I'ma go all in. I got one shot to probably play the fool, so when I'm gone, I ain't got no regrets and nothing I could lose. You know, I believe you only got one shot. You only got one shot to really do what you gotta do. And if you put everything into that one shot, then you will never have regrets. You should not have any regrets. If you did everything that you could do, there's no room for regrets. Unless, of course, you could have done more. And I don't ever want to live like that, so. If you could see what I done surely seen, you would chase the dream. Zay and Donovan up in the cut, so I had to bless the scene. Like I said earlier in the verse, I got new sights for all my fucking visions, so I'm chasing these visions that I'm seeing. And if you've seen the visions that I've seen, you would chase the dream. Zay and Donovan up in the cut, so I had to bless the scene. That's just me basically adding myself into the picture. I don't think I was even part of Project Ambition at the time, but I was just, you know, I got Zay, I got Donovan in the cut, so I gotta bless the scene. I wish you more life, more sight, just to see the path, right? I wonder if I had the same mission in my past life. Me wishing more life and more sight is an add-on to being a blessing. I think if you want blessings, you gotta be a blessing. So, you know, what better way of being a blessing than wishing you more blessings? All I ever wanted was tell mama that we all right. Bills paid on everything, vacation on desired sites. Yeah, man, I want to, you know, I think that's part of my purpose. I do want to eat, but I want to gain so I can feed the ones that are around me. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's part of my dream. That's part of my purpose. And even to the extent of feeding those that are not really in my close proximity, but just blessing people that I can bless with whatever means I have. Ever since a youngin', my ambitions haunted all night. I couldn't sleep up on the couch. I need my name on Forbes site. Ever since a young age, I felt like there was more to life than what I'm presented with, and making sure that I make the most out of the hand that I've been dealt. So, you know, I couldn't sleep up on the couch. I need my name on Forbes site. If you're ambitious and you're aware of your own ambitions, it's hard to be lazy. It's hard to just sit back and let time pass by. the more you sit down and not go after whatever you want to do, the more you feel like time is just catching up to you. So I could never sleep up on the couch. I need my name with foresight. Ball like 23 when I'm on court like fuck a sideline. Patience and persistence, treat this shit like it's a drive-by. That's a sports reference, meaning, you know, you never want to be on the sideline, but actually be in the arena. That applies to everything in life. Like, you want to be in the arena and not watching from the sideline. Actually be an active participant in whatever endeavors you're a part of. And just like a drive-by, the whole song is a metaphor to, you know, being in the moment and taking the shot at the right time.
If life was a drive-by, would you hesitate? Or would you pull the trigger, kill the trauma, get away? Drive, nigga, go accelerate. Your gaslight song, you forgot to fill the tank. So that part right there is basically using going at a situation as a metaphor. If there's anything you've ever wanted to go for in life, you can't hesitate at all. You just have to do. You know, when you see people in the NBA doing like all these crazy shots and stuff, they're not planning on doing it. There's not like, oh, okay, there's a calculation, boom, boom, boom. You just have to go for it, you know? Yesterday was Friday, other day was Thursday, and the day before that equated to the worst day. Tuesday and Monday, you want to have fun, but they came and went. Drive by, here's the gun, bow. This song was really dear to me because it explained my situation up until that point, you know. I used to wake up just mad, and I never really knew why. I understood, and this is where the concept of like a drive-by came from. It was more so, you know, when you're in, not saying I ever did one or anything, but you know, when you're doing a drive-by, you can't hesitate at all. You just have to go and do what you do. So I use that as a metaphor for like killing off the trauma. I can't hesitate and be scared and just lay back and let this thing haunt me forever. Because if I did that, I'd die like that, and I would never die a happy man, in a sense. Monday woke up, mad as fuck. Tuesday woke up, mad as fuck. Wednesday, my mental's repping the chain gang. It's ironic, I never thought I would gang bang. But when I'm sleeping, I'm at peace, laying in my BED. And I'm knowing for a fact that I'm not in reality. So if sleep's the cousin of the death, I think it should have a niece, but he can't raise it on his own. Look at here, give it to me. That whole thing is, you know, you just, like I alluded to before, you know, you just wake up mad, and it's, you're mad that you just woke up. You don't even really know why. It's like when you're in your dream state, everything is so peaceful, so calm, and, you know, because it's your dream and it's a manifestation of your thoughts. So what you want your dream to be, that's what will be. And then you wake up and you have control over your own life and not control over the world around you. So that's kind of what that was alluded to. There's a metaphor in there, but I'm gonna let y'all, lyrically, I'm gonna let y'all just do a dive and do it yourselves. I'll dream of the showrooms, Bugattis that go vroom, the shit that I don't have, I'll never let go. Ooh, I coddle it honestly like my mama had done to me. While I'm running out of breath, I see the star that I wanna be. If I'm being honest, that was a shock to somebody. That was more so like a fuck you. I ain't gonna say who it was with the mom coddling me. I feel as though my mama did not coddle me, but there is one person in particular who said that my mom coddled me, so it was just more like a F you type of thing. Breathe in, look around, wake up, my bedroom, I frown. Why my body keep waking me up anyways? I'm crying lakes, man. Fuck Justin Timberlake, you know, cause, you know, cry me a river, cry me a lake, cry me a river. Man, fuck Justin Timberlake, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, why am I so mad? The questions I had. So I raised my hand to answer and got called on last. Had a vision of a robbery at Chase Bank. Realized that was the cops, and I hate the Jakes. I had a vision of a robbery at Chase Bank and realized that was the cops, but I hate the Jakes. Bang, bang, he yelled stop. The robbers has yelled cops. I reloaded the clip to bust some more shots that ran right through the barrel. He jumped just like a squirrel. 2 bullets went through the robbers. Goddamn apparel. He fell, got him up, looked him right in his eye. But deeper and close enough, man, his eyes was like mine. Lifted up his mask, had the same face that I had. Only difference between us is he didn't look as mad. I thought about it, then looked inside the bag. $1 had stood out way more than the rest. I flipped it to the back and was shocked because it reads, it said, "In you we trust to love yourself and find peace." That whole thing, you know, I like putting metaphors in my raps, whether they're like very subtle and you can't understand it until you listen to it like 10 times and you're like, oh, that's what homie meant, or if they're just very in your face, just like that. And I was basically painting the imagery of me being a robber to my own joy. There was no money in the bag. It was said, "In you we trust." Like, you know, in God we trust, play on words, but in you we trust to love yourself and find peace. If somebody gives you peace, you're dependent on that person to keep that peace. And as soon as that person leaves you, there go your peace. So what you gonna do? Don Lavelle goes crazy. I ain't even gonna lie, man. It was one time we was on stage and we was all nervous. That man said, "You know what they about a lot of people in this world is that? They told to play the victim." I was like, oh, yo, this dude preaching, man. I came back, my voice, for years I robbed myself for my own joy. For years I robbed myself for my own joy. Even got envious of my homeboy. He had the girls that I wanted back in high school. Maybe that's when I needed to take the high road. And I was talking to God and asked one thing. I said, "Gee, I gotta ask you something." I said I want to get to people, and he knew just what I mean. Put a message on my lips and replace the Vaseline. So that part right there, I just feel like every time I write something, it's not necessarily me, because I go into the flow state and it just comes out. You know, I know what I want to say, but the way it's being said, I feel like I'm just a vessel for whatever it is, you know. So I was talking to, you know, the higher being and saying, yo, I want to help people out, you know, through my music. And you put that message on my lips and replace the Vaseline. I do be having to put that mud back on my lips because I can't just be crusty all day, you know what I'm saying? But hey, protect your kids from everything. Make sure they secure. But how can you do that when you the one that's insecure? Drive by, it's a cause for war. Took two of mine, so I'm taking four of yours like a drive-by. Bow. If I'm being honest, that should just be self-explanatory. You can't keep your kids secure when, me personally, I believe you shouldn't even really have kids until you're right with yourself. Whether that be spiritually, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you know? So as long as you have those four in balance, then you can have kids. But I understand circumstances do happen. As long as you're striving for that and you're setting a good example for the kids and they see, hey, my dad isn't perfect, but he's striving to be the best that he possibly could, or my mom or my auntie, whoever's the caretaker, that is a good example for them children, because that's going to strive for them to be the best version of themselves. Drive by, it's a cause for war. You took two of mine, so I'm taking four of yours like a drive-by. The mentality of individuals who go through that lifestyle, it, in a sense, kind of fascinates me, because they never think that there's somebody like them out there, you know, willing to just kill something. They always think like they're the ones on top when there's like 50 people striving to get in their position, you know, because it can only be one person on top. But, you know, it's a competitive thing. So when you say, hey, I'm finna go kill these people, you're not thinking like, okay, well, you just killed their people. Now they finna come back and kill your people. And that's when you get a cycle, you know, and it's just continuous for absolutely no reason. You know, I understand I was around it at certain times in my life, and I seen that it was just a bunch of, honestly, it's just a bunch of hurt kids with pent up anger that they're willing to release on anybody. But the nearest people happens to be somebody that looks just like them. And it's a real crab in a barrel type mentality. Yeah, so, hey, my name's Isaiah Ramssess, and that was my verse.